This is Embrace Your Inner Boldness, a podcast about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. I'm Melissa Henning Frank, coach, guide, and founder of Becoming Bold. I help you strip away the conditioning, reclaim your voice, and rise into the power that's always been yours. Let's get right to it. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Have you ever been in a meeting where two people heard the exact same thing, but somehow walked away with two totally different interpretations? It almost makes you wonder if you were even in the same room. And what's interesting is we're not just reacting to what happens in front of us, we're reacting to the reality that we've been fed. Our news feeds, our headlines, the posts that we scroll past every day, they all shape how we see the world. And when you put a bunch of people with different realities on the same team, especially in a time when stress and mental health struggles are at an all-time high, things can get messy really fast. Humans need to feel safe, seen, and supported, and lately, it's becoming more and more of a challenge to fulfill that need. This is where leadership in these times gets tough, because you're not just managing tasks or projects anymore, you're managing people's perceptions. One person might think the company is overreacting to a situation, another might think leadership isn't doing nearly enough. Same message, completely different takeaways. And if you're not careful, that gap can grow into real tension, silos, and mistrust. So what do you do as a leader? You lean into curiosity. So instead of shutting someone down with, "Why would you think that?" which, let's be honest, is usually what comes to mind first, you pause and you say, "Help me understand where you're coming from." That shift alone can turn a defensive conversation into an open one. Psychological safety matters more than ever right now. People need to know that they can speak up, ask questions, and even admit they're struggling without fear it'll be held against them. And honestly, checking in doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as, "How are you really doing today?" And that can open a door that a teammate desperately needed opened. Now, I want to pause here because leaders themselves are carrying a lot. You're not only holding your team's stress, but you're also carrying your own. It's heavy, isn't it? And if you don't have an outlet, it's going to catch up with you. So whether that's a peer group, a mentor, a coach, find your people. Don't think that you have to go through it alone. And please give yourself permission to say to your team, "I don't have all the answers, but I want us to figure this out together." That's not weakness. That's how you build trust. And to my friends in HR, this is the moment to be a real partner to leaders. And that means giving them tools, running workshops on conflict management, communication, resilience, even just handing them talking points so they're not guessing their way through tough conversations, because they are having tough conversations right now. HR should also be watching the warning signs. Higher turnover, absenteeism, more people calling the EAP, increased policy violations and investigations, survey scores dropping when it comes to trust. Those are the smoke signals that something deeper is going on with your people. And organizations as a whole, this is really your wake-up call. You cannot just keep prioritizing profit and hoping that people hold it together. When you focus on people, profit follows. And that means mental health benefits that actually work. It means flexibility where you can offer it, and workloads that are realistic. Those things are not extras or perks anymore. These are essentials. And don't underestimate the power of reminding your employees what you stand for. Even if you don't all see the world the same way, you can still rally around shared values like respect, collaboration, and safety. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few questions to sit with. First, when was the last time you really paused to check in with your team? Not the surface level, "How's it going?" but the kind of question that makes space for an honest answer. Second, how are you doing really? Leaders sometimes forget that their own mental health matters just as much as their team's. So who is in your corner and who helps you carry the load? And finally, what is one small thing that your organization could do right now to put people first? Not next quarter, not when the budget gets approved, but today. These questions aren't meant to overwhelm you. They're really meant to spark action. Because when you start with curiosity, when you care for your people and yourself, that's when the culture shifts. So consider this. Every single person on your team is walking into work with their own version of reality. You can either let those different realities divide your team, or you can create a culture that turns those differences into strength. Leaders set the tone. HR provides the tools. Organizations decide whether to truly value people or burn them out. And when we choose people, we create possibility. Sometimes life becomes difficult in order to create change. Oftentimes it gets a lot more difficult before it gets easier. Change doesn't usually happen when everything's hunky-dory. I'm here to support you with free personal and professional resources when you subscribe to my email list. Make sure you look at the link in the show notes. I also offer leadership development and team effectiveness workshops, one-on-one and group coaching. Let's work together sooner than later. Your team will thank you for it. Until next time, please be kind to your mind. That's it for today's episode of Embrace Your Inner Boldness. If this stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Screenshot this episode, tag me at Becoming Bold LLC, and share it with someone else who's ready to rise. And hey, if you haven't already, take a second to subscribe, rate, and review the show. That's how we spread the boldness and keep this movement growing. Whatever came up for you today, feel the fear and do it anyway. You don't need to wait for perfect timing or permission. You are powerful. You are ready. And remember, the only limit to your boldness is the one you set for yourself. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep becoming you.